She's a tech founder, inclusion leader, and Miss Black America. Please welcome Ryann Richardson.
Her name is Ryann Richardson.
Ryann Richardson.
I'm Ryann Richardson. Some of you might know me as Miss Black America.
My platform revolves around diversity and inclusion in the technology space. I'm an executive in the tech industry. I run a $100 million global tech company. And what I recognized is an utter lack of diversity in the leadership ranks in big tech companies. And that's an issue because tech organizations aren't just representative of the future, we're shaping the future. So if people of color, if women, if folks of diverse backgrounds aren't a part of that, they'll be left behind in that future.
Yeah.
I say call them out. Yeah, call them out. I, if it's aggressive, shrug. I don't.
Right.
So in this last week, every company under the sun has issued a statement, a release. They have told the world that they stand with the Black community, that their hearts and minds, their thoughts and prayers go out to us, and that they are making some pledge to stand with us in solidarity. And very obvious logical follow-up question is, okay, but how? Right? So how specifically are you going to stand in solidarity with the Black community? How specifically are you going to work with us or for us to break down, the frankly very systems that have allowed you to thrive in a capitalistic society? But don't let me go off on that tangent. We'll talk about that later. What are you going to do next? How much capital are you putting behind it? Where are you dispersing it? What things are you divesting from that are actually problematic in the whole scheme of things? Like, these are questions we have to ask. And I want to propose a game to you guys. A little game we're calling Overrated, Underrated. And I'm gonna throw this one to you, Mayor, first. Brunch, overrated or underrated?
Underrated on one condition, which is it has to actually begin before noon or it's not real brunch. I'm hearing reports of brunch happening at dinner time in this country. And that's not real brunch.
No, it's always brunch. As long as it happens on Saturday or Sunday, it's brunch.
But then it's tea. If it's happening after, if you're having a meal and you're having it after lunchtime and it's not dinner, it's tea.
Do we have people have tea in America?
Yeah, well, not really, but that's
time as well.
I think in some way or another you are both wrong. Brunch is a sacred institution in America, especially when it's accompanied by bottomless mimosas. So it's right on target. All right.
And a handful of women women of color, and I co-founded what was at that point Uber's employee-led diversity and inclusion task force because we didn't want to quit. We wanted to make it better.
I love that.
That's like the story of Black women, right?
Yes.
Like
we come and fix everything.
Everybody sees something's wrong. Everyone acknowledges that this is wrong. Black women are like, this is wrong, and they're like, yep. And you're like, I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it myself, and that's what we did.
I want to take a step back as we talk about what we, the four of us, are doing to address this right now, to recognize that the issue we're facing is not solely police brutality, right? It is not something that's going to be solved by a couple pieces of legislation and better training and better recruiting. Police brutality, the death of George Floyd, the death of Tatiana Jefferson, the death of Breonna Taylor, these are symptoms of a much greater societal ill, right? Like, this is the illness that we need to solve. The greater illness is white supremacy in America, culture of white supremacy, and kind of what I call uninterrogated whiteness. This thought that whiteness is the default, everything else is the defect, and for us to survive, let alone thrive in this country, we need to alter ourselves to be more palatable to the white gaze, right? Yeah. And ultimately, if that's the issue, right? If it's white supremacy and a culture that revolves around whiteness, then as much as we can be active leaders here and direct change, it's up to white America to fix it.
When we rob Black women of their beauty, we take power away from them.
Why are women forced to make a binary decision between either openly wielding the power of their feminine beauty or being otherwise respected as bright, as talented, as valuable? Beauty as women is our unique superpower. Yet we've been conditioned to believe that it lacks value, that we ought distance ourselves from it if we want to be taken seriously. And that's not an accident. Last time I checked, men aren't encouraged to abandon any vehicles for their power. That is a burden that lies squarely on our shoulders. I find that it's problematic that we teach our children, our little girls, from birth, that the hair that grows out of their head naturally is somehow defective, right? That we tell them to be right, to be beautiful, to be good, to be valuable, you must chemically change yourself. That's fundamentally dangerous. So when I was competing for Miss Black America, it was important that I signal something. I wanted little girls to see, but I have a short, tapered, natural haircut. And there was not a chance that I was going to change that to compete for Miss Black America. I knew I was Miss Black America before I got there, and I was going to be Miss Black America with that hair.
As I look around this room, I hope we are all reminded that every woman in here stands on the shoulders of another woman who did have the audacity to take up space somewhere where she didn't belong, to take up space somewhere where she wasn't welcome, where she wasn't culture fit. I'm talking about the women who said, if you don't want me here, you're gonna have to use all your might to move me, because I sure as hell won't be giving you a single solitary inch of this space that I deserve to occupy. These are women who sat at the front of the bus instead of the back of it because they knew it was right. Women who walked through angry moms to take up space in a classroom that they would integrate because they knew they deserved that education. Women who took up space picketing outside of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue or sitting in DC jails because they knew that women deserved the right to vote. We owe those women. All right. Thank you guys.
Culturally, we have decided that there is a very narrowly defined archetype of what a respectable woman is, or what a credible woman is, or what an intelligent woman is and can be. Part of me being now bold and apologetic and outspoken and being like, yes, I'm a tech founder and a beauty queen, you can process that, get over it, is realizing that it's a responsibility for me to kind of call BS on its face and kind of give some cover to other women, not just women who compete in pageants, but women who don't fit that narrowly defined archetype of what the respectable, credible, intelligent woman must be. It's on us, every one of us in this room, to give permission to the women and girls who will come behind us to be able to take up space as dynamic, complex, whole beings, not these one-dimensional tropes of what womanhood should be. Toni Morrison wrote, if you want to fly, you got to give up the shit that weighs you down. Well, I'm here to let you know this is that shit. Mavericks. It's time to fly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Facebook. See you next time.
Thank you.